It was a Super League classic last Friday at Langtree Park as St Helens clinched a memorable win against Wigan as Josh Jones picked Matty Bowen's pocket to score the winning try in the closing minutes. The win means Saints can go top of the table tonight and throw down the gauntlet to the other three hopefuls, who are still chasing the League Leaders' Shield that St Helens won here 12 months ago. Warrington, though, after years of heartache against the Saints, would like nothing better to turn up and win. They demolished the Catalan Dragons on Saturday, and just 3 days after it was announced he was being released a year early, Captain Joel Monaghan turned back the clock with a hat-trick of tries. The Wolves want to end a forgettable season on a high. And they have numerous scores to settle with St Helens after countless heartbreaking defeats to them in the Super League era. If Warrington could win tonight, it would keep St Helens off the top of the table as the champions aim to lay down a marker to the other semi-finalists who all play tomorrow. The team news, and it's same again for both sides after last week's victories. Saints' dramatic win against Wigan, sealed by Josh Jones, who's off to pastures new in 2016. His try last week guarantees him a place in St Helens folklore. Tommy Makinson, by the way, celebrates his 24th birthday on grand final night. Will he be at Old Trafford? Up front, Kyle Amor makes his 50th St Helens appearance. For Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, it's his 250th career appearance. And on the bench, Mark Flanagan makes his third successive appearance there. All three have produced wins so far. For Warrington, well, not much to play for other than pride and the chance to ruin Saints' bid. They also say farewell to some of their stars. Joel Monaghan and Richie Myler play for Warrington for the final time. Between them this year, they've scored 26 tries. Up front, Ben Curry, along with the Wigan pair of Joe Burgess and George Williams, is a nominee for the 2015 Young Player of the Year award. And farewell is being said to Roy Asatazi, who'll come off the bench. He ends his career as it began with a game against St Helens, and will be hoping for a better result than on his debut in February 2014 when Saints won by 38 points to 8. So Langtree Park awaits yet another classic, and classics are what they have been used to here when these two sides go head-to-head in the Super League. St Helens currently, they've won the last 3, but they've lost 2 of their last 3 here in front of their supporters at Langtree Park. Warrington have won 2 of the last 3, both at home. They've lost each of their last 3 away from home. Nothing to play for other than pride, but will want to avoid a 4th defeat to St Helens this year. They lost 32-24 in March, 2016 at the Magic Weekend, and 2014 at home on July the 16th. Big night for the St Helens players. They looked in danger of missing out on the semi-finals, but they have turned things round in September at Leeds and Castleford, and then here against Wigan last Friday. They won a classic match, and they hope, with all their youngsters in front of them, that they will be producing yet another classic here tonight. St Helens against Warrington, it has a mighty pedigree, Steve-O.
Certainly has, and you're spot on with the fact that Warrington would like nothing better than to put one over the St Helens side, who so often have just sneaked a win in the dying minutes against the Warrington outfit. Kieran Cunningham knows it's going to be a pressure game. There's an outside chance that St Helens could finish at the top of the table, depending on other results, of course. James Child, he knows the pressure also. And I wonder whether we've seen the great Richie Myler, his last game for Warrington, and maybe he'll want to prove to not only his fellow players, but also to the Warrington fans that maybe they've made a mistake to allow him to leave the club after the 80 minutes tonight.
Well, there he is, Richie Myler. It's a new life and a new club in 2016 down in the south of France in Perpignan, and we wish him well for that. But there's 80 minutes to see off here tonight first of all, and Chris Sando gets us underway, and the ball bounces all the way into the arms of Adam Quinlan, and here now comes Andre Savelio with the first drive forward of the match, and met by 4 primrose yellow and blue jerseys. Roby is the dummy half. He gets the ball away to Kyle Amor. This opening set of 6, and the ball in the hands of the Saints. Wilkin gets the ball away to Joe Greenwood, and down he goes in the tackle.
Well, we all know they realise that at St Helens they've got to win this match to have a chance. Still at the top of the table, and of course Warrington, perhaps they say, well, they've got nothing to play for. But when you look at the likes of Darrell Clark, Ben Kerry and Stephen Ratchford, they want to put in a big performance tonight to maybe just change the mind of the England coach Steve McNamara, that they're still around, still got the qualities to play at international level.
That was a good offload from Ben Westwood. He found Myler, and Myler then in turn finds Chris Hill, and Hill offloads to Darrell Clark. Looks like Warrington are beginning with a little bit of flair.
Yeah, good work by Westwood. He'll also like to finish with a flourish, especially in the defensive side. Oh, it's a big gamble when you come out of the line like that.
Here is Kevin Penny. He signed a new 2-year deal only yesterday. He was found by the pass from 19-year-old Jack Johnson. Sandow again helps it on then to number 27, George King, another of the Warrington youngsters, fourth in a row at loose forward, the 20-year-old. Clark bends his back at dummy half, finds Sandow, finds Myler. He then finds Westwood. Here is Ratchford. Ratchford trying to go through a hole that was left by two, but quickly he is closed down. Warrington have reached the sixth and final tackle on this, their opening set, and up it goes off the boot of Chris Sandow. And underneath it, nobody. The ball bounces, it bounces everywhere. Atkins, it's knocked back. It's going to be a try for Penny. It's going to be a try for Kevin Penny.
He won't take, well, I'm surprised he's gone upstairs. It was quite clear. It looked very, very decisive as far as I was concerned. James Child just wants to go. Phil Bentham and Warren Turley.
Well, Stuart, here we are. Early call to the video referees.
It is, and it's mainly a concern on a knock-on at the end of the try-scoring sequence. They're onside from the kick, so we'll move on from there. This is what they were just concerned about. I don't think there was any touch initially. Both players straight through his hands, so play on from there. Ryan Atkins hasn't touched the ball. So I think it's more after this that what happens. I think Tommy Makinson knocks it backwards. Don't think he grounds the ball in the in-goal area at any point. So it's play on from there. It's still play on, no infringement. Kevin Penny's picked up cleanly, places the ball, and that's a try for Warrington.
What about the Ryan Atkins push in the back? Is that A-OK? And are you sure that a Warrington player did not touch the ball? This is the incident. Atkins pushes him out of the way. You can use the shoulder, but surely you can't use the hand.
Well, that's the merest of touches.
I don't see that as a push. I think he's changed direction, Tommy Makinson, into his path, and I think that'll be fine. I don't think there's a push. I don't think it affects the way he goes for the ball at all.
I'm not so sure. You can see that there's movement. I think that he's pushed him off. There's a definite push with the right hand that has just changed Makinson run towards the football. I think this may be turned down, Stuart.
Well, I don't think that affects the way he goes for the try. Especially if there's doubt in the video referee's mind. Remember, the referee sent it up as a try, so they will go with the referee's decision if they have any doubt over that collision. Personally, I don't think there's any problem with it. We'll see what the video referees make of it.
Well, they obviously do have a slight problem because they're looking at this over and over and over again.
Well, Makinson's body moves away from the direction he sets off in, so therefore, What's the momentum? Makinson is pushed away off the line of the ball.
They must be in disagreement. You mentioned two names, Mike, as the video referee here. For them to watch it this many times, they must have two names. One of the guys is trying to convince the other one here at some point.
It's no try.
Well, the referee will have it communicated in his ear, perhaps, or will we see it come up on the big screen? We have had a couple of technical difficulties with the big screen. It looks like it's A-OK now. And the try is not given. It is turned down for the push in the back. You were right, Steve-O.
Well, you can see that Makinson, his line going towards the ball has been pushed away. It's quite clear. Now, if he'd have utilised his shoulder when they're running in the both same direction, that is absolutely okay.
Well, I think that's remarkably harsh. I don't know about the rest. I know Steve-O is firmly, well and truly, he's pinned his colours to the mast, but I think that's harsh.
Well, coaches don't like to talk about it, but luck does play a part in sport, and I think there is a lucky break there for the home side. I agree. I thought Stewart was right. I would have awarded that try. Warrington got some lucky tries last week not to start this one. Now the sets blasting down the middle.
They are with Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. He's held by Ryan Atkins, who's just had his try, in inverted commas, disallowed. Wilkin with a kick to the in-goal area. It's a good kick too. It's turned young Johnston around.
It's a great kick.
Got something to do.
Fantastic kick, Eddie.
Good return by him as well.
Eddie, he's a good player in Jack Johnson, young Oldham lad, actually from Aldenshaw. Saddleworth Rangers was his amateur club. And obviously Tony Smith thinks a lot about him. He's given that full-back berth to him. He's got a lot to prove and a lot to live up to, but he's got that speed that all good players have.
Well, Westwood's in the mood to offload the ball at every opportunity. That's the second time he's done that. This now is Ratchford.
Well, it's obvious that Tony Smith has said to the players, listen, this is your last throw of the dice. You may as well play to your skills, keep it alive. They've got nothing to lose.
Well, Terry O'Connor made that point to him before the match, and he actually disagreed entirely. He said, no, not necessarily, the shackles are off.
Well, he's not going to admit before the game what sort of tactics he's going to utilise.
Well, do you think Kieran Cunningham was listening in? Good one from Quinlan. Here goes Swift.
Good tackle by Clark. It had to be. Could have been penalised. Just took a while.
Referee looked as though he had the whistle on its way to his mouth, but he decided to refrain from blowing it.
I get the
Greenwood to get forward to the 30-metre mark.
I get the feeling, Eddie, this is going to be a classic. Both sides eager to keep this ball alive. It's very rare you see the likes of Ben Westwood early in the game getting 2 offloads away from within the tackle.
Well, St Helens coach Kieran Cunningham said on Boots and All yesterday, not necessarily worried about the result as much as he wants his team to perform. Lovely to go into those semi-finals on the back of 4 straight victories, but the performance from his team is what he is more concerned about here tonight. Johnson is grounded by Roby, and there is the St Helens coach.
Well, I tell you what, I know that the tactics. We saw Wilkin kick on the 3rd. We saw on that occasion, they didn't wait to the last. They went on the 4th. So they're trying to turn this Warrington outfit, turning them back and around.
Chris Hill taking the ball forward, pulled down by Savelio and Greenwood. It's Penny who finds Myler, who went for a little dash, and Amor held on to him. That was Clark. And now, Sandow. They wouldn't be fooled, the St Helens defenders. He will get to his feet eventually. Play the ball to Clark. This is the last. And Myler will hoist the kick to the right-hand side, looking for Joel Monaghan. And Monaghan catches it, dumps the ball back to Ratchford, still on the last. Ratchford with a crossfield kick. This is Mark Percival's. And Percival will respond with a little bit of interest.
Yeah, great work there by the centre. Percival anticipated that the kick may come across the post, put himself in a very, very good position. Boy, this has been played at some speed as well.
Roby waits, and Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook takes the ball forward again. 250th career appearance for Louis, the former England international. As Roby goes down in the tackle right on the halfway line. Turner to Walsh. Walsh then to Wilkin. Wilkin kicked down the line, and he finds touch over on that far side. Swift and Monaghan in chase, in hot pursuit.
It's amazing, isn't it? Just over 6.5 minutes gone, and St Helens have not got to the last tackle. These are great tactics. They're turning Warrington in a round, and since this man has come back from that injury with his thumb, he's been the difference to this St Helens outfit.
I think that was a recognition of how fast and frenetic the opening 6.5 minutes have been. He just wants to slow the pace of the game down a little bit, let everybody get the breath back, try and refocus and re-engage with that game plan they went out with. But Saints are a good side and going to this in good form, but Warrington look like they won't lie down.
4th meeting of 2015 between these two. They could have actually played at Wembley as well. They were both beaten in the semi-final. St Helens will go top for 24 hours at least if they claim the victory, and then they'll just wait and see what happens involving those teams around them rather. George King gets the ball away to Hill. That's a slack pass from him, and Josh Jones has hold of it.
And that's why St Helens have kicked early, because they're backed on the fact that their opponents will try and throw passes, come up with a mistake, and territory is more important than possession in the opening quarter of the game. They have it right now.
Yeah, Myler just went a little bit too early, and Hill just lost the plot there. Good offload by Roby.
He finds Amor, and Amor is wrestled to the ground by Richie Myler. Roby waits again. Here is Luke Walsh. Walsh to Turner. Turner, good ball to Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Needed solid defence. Atkins produced that.
Good work by Jordan Turner. He impressed me last week, playing in the standoff role.
Good ball from Walsh. Greenwood. Greenwood with the first try. No need to refer that one upstairs. St Helens survived the scare. They were alleged to have been pushing in the back at the other end. So the Warrington try for Atkins was turned down. And that one, though, is academic as far as Joe Greenwood is concerned. He's in double figures now for the season.
And this is where the mistake came. Hill couldn't get it to Myler. Jones picked it up. And as I say, Walsh is really backing. Great play. You can see how they just sucked Stephen Ratsford away. This is excellent play by Luke Walsh. Ratsford had to go for him. The big fella Greenwood goes through a huge gap. Tremendous stuff. Combination, draw the man and take full advantage.
I think it's the pace that John Wilkin hits that ball. It makes the defenders just hesitate a little bit and then get on the front foot, get forward. And it was a hard line. I think it was Savelio who the ball went behind. And that created a simple 2-on-1, and young Joe Greenwood goes in. That's the first try.
Yes, first try for Greenwood, 4-0 St Helens. Luke Walsh lining this kick up. No Travis Burns again tonight for the second week in a row, and St Helens have announced today that they are the club who have paid the undisclosed fee to bring Theo Farge. There is Travis Burns, he's still on the sideline, but they're bringing Theo Farge, the French international from Salford, for 2016. So I wonder whether Luke Walsh will have a new partner alongside him next year. Walsh will add the extras. It's 6-0 to the Saints.
And adding the extras has been important for St Helens this year, with Luke Walsh doing it particularly well. You see here, they make this look so simple, don't they, as they tack close to the line. All the players fitting into the holes, drawing the man and putting the man into space. But goal kicking, Eddie, is a big difference. When you look over the course of the season, before this game, Warrington and St Helens had virtually scored the same number of tries. But St Helens' ability to kick the conversions over and convert one or two more penalties has been a big difference between where these two teams have finished the season. And currently going into this game, I mean, Luke Walsh has converted over 86% of his conversions. Now, if you compare that with Chris Sandow for Warrington, less than 60 at the moment, the main kicker that the Wolves are using, that's a significant difference.
Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook goes down on tackle number 2. Ashton Sims holding him down by the shirt collar as well. There's Turner. He turns it back to Percival. Percival trying to burrow underneath Darrell Clark.
It just shows you, Eddie, that the tactics from Saints, you've got to take your hat off to Kieran Cunningham, but, you know, kicking the ball before they even get to the last has turned Warrington around so often. And then as soon as the mistake came, the bat pass from Hill, and they've made them pay, though that's not the best kick.
It isn't. It's well read by young Jack Johnson. St Helens coach, and Sean Long alongside him. Wonder how much of a role Sean Long played in the signature of Theo Farge. Sean Long was at Salford, of course.
Well, he knows his quality, and I rate him. I think he's a very, very good player indeed. That's play on. That's back to 6.
And there's another one.
Oh, he said play on.
Well, that's interesting, and there's having a call, I think, from the sideline, and it was the free play. The first knock-on should be the first offence, which it is. This will be head and feet to St Helens.
And it's good to see that the touch judge has just reminded the official. Sims with the offload.
Yeah, Warrington's head and feet. Did I say St Helens?
There of Clark.
And it was then Savelio who made a dive at the ball and lost it forward. So Warrington scrum just inside their own half of the field. Like the Saints, they made the worst possible start to these Super 8s. They lost each of their first 3. Warrington have had an erratic season, though. They've not managed 3 wins in a row all year, which is not really what you expect from them. Curry with a good run, and he has been an outstanding figure for Warrington this year, nominee for Young Player of the Year. Chris Hill who was nominated for Man of Steel last year, doesn't get the vote this year. There is the current Man of Steel, Clark, who got it away to Sandow. Now it's Myler, here is Westwood, and that bounced forward, didn't it, to Johnson? I don't think they're going to give this as a knock-on.
It's a try, Eddie. It was a try.
It was a play. It looked like it had gone to one player.
Little magic pass, didn't it?
Yeah. Wonderful stuff. And there's that young player, Jack Johnson, got a fantastic future in the game. Lovely deception here from Warrington over on their right edge. And it was a little bit of now you see it, now you don't.
Well, it was
celebrations.
This is where it was a bit of a mess up there, but there's no doubt about it that Tabellio got the first knock on. So the first opportunity that Warrington had when that penny try was turned down, and the pass back on the inside for Stephen Ratchford was out of this world. Westwood, the short pass to Ratchford, and watch it back on the inside. Come to daddy. Oh, look at that. Jones and Walsh left a huge gap. They were fooled. Fullback Jack Johnson wasn't. Surely they'll have the extras and tie the game up at 6-all.
It was a brilliant pass from Stephen Ratchford. I didn't read it first time, but you all did. And James Child was close, and he waved play on. Wonderful pass. Sandow adds the extras were level pegging at Langtree Park.
Well, I thought that Stephen Ratchford was Warrington's best player last weekend, probably with their attack and the defence. How often can they get him to the ball, and how often can he influence what happens? It's brilliant, isn't it? They pass it out and they pass it back in, and that's almost virtually impossible to defend against when they execute it so well with a great timing. I suppose where Stephen Ratchford plays next season must be a question on the mind of all the Warrington supporters. He has number 6 on his back, but we're not sure whether he'll be a centre, standoff, perhaps even loose forward. But I do think he's probably individually their most dangerous player, and if you had to play against one player, he would be the least one you'd want to defend against Barry.
I completely agree, Phil, and Kirk Gidley's on his way over, and some might say he's very similar, has a versatile aspect to his game, but I think he's an out-and-out fullback. I love to see him out the back, returning those balls. Ben Curry just juggling that.
Well, he's certainly a very, very classy player, isn't he, Stephen Ratchford? He showed his quality in that inside little tip that allowed the fullback to go up for the try, and I agree with Barry on this one. I think that Ratchford is far better playing the fullback role, gives him a lot of space, gives him the opportunity. He's not only got a seal factor, but he's got plenty of pace.
Good ball from George King, found Chris Sandow. The St Helens defence found him. Here is Myler again. He goes along the deck, and it will skip its way into the arms of Adam Swift. Just to remind you what's coming tomorrow: Huddersfield against Leeds. Leeds win that, they will claim the League Leaders' Shield. Huddersfield win it, they are in with a real shout themselves. And it all depends, of course, what happens here. Wigan against Castleford. That's available on Sky Sports Extra, which is our channel on the website, or the iPad app. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff for Wigan Castleford, so you can keep one eye on that and one eye on what's happening at the John Smith Stadium at the same time. What fantastic service in these Super 8s we're offering you in 2015. Severio will take it forward.
Couldn't have wished for anything better, could you? Going into the last weekend of the rounds, and there's a bit of a problem for Mark Percival. He got a bit of a knock on the thigh, either the thigh or the hip, but the ball's bouncing all around. But boys, he's been impressive, this Jack Johnson.
I thought that was brilliant defence from Warrington in the previous set there to contain St Helens. Few teams have been able to do that very often, I suppose. It brought on the giant that is Alex Walmsley with that get out of my way mentality. But Warrington contained them there. They've held the Saints from making good ground, and now it's their turn to return with quick play of the balls. It's been a feature of Warrington's play in the first 16 minutes.
Noel Clark into centre field to Ashton Sims. He finds Myler, who finds Sandow. Short ball then from him to Ben Curry again. He gets them to halfway. And now it's George King, loose forward. There is Alex Walmsley, one of the contenders announced yesterday for the Man of Steel 2015. Oh, and Chris Hill is not the kicker, and that's the reason why.
Well, Tony Smith will be furious. It was all panic in the Warrington end. Shocking pass. Hill said, let's get out of here. And what do? They go back 35 metres. Not impressed? Every right to be that way as well.
But there was a bit of fluster in the Warrington composure because of Mark Percival. You've mentioned him a couple of times. Really does get up quick, puts the shoulder in, and puts that element of doubt in anybody running towards him on Saints' right edge.
Well, that wasn't in the strip for St Helens then. It was a collision, and here comes Jack Johnson now to try and return for the Warrington Wolves. Collision between Cervello and Wilkin, I think it was.
Yeah, just run into each other. Just lodge the ball. It's there you see the centre Percival again. Cervello
could get in big hits.
Control.
Yes.
Could get in big hits.
Well, that's a legal one, Barry.
We like the legal ones and the illegal ones.
This is Chris Hill again. No doubt he will feature as well before the night's out in Barry and Terry's big hits. One of the many features you can watch online here on Sky Sports during the course of the season and beyond, no doubt. Sandow, nice little chip through. And it had to be quick thinking by Makinson, who went to ground quickly to pull that ball in.
It's great to see, some of these wingers, they really read the game exceptionally well. It was a good option by Chris Sandow. Now, the big question, Warrington, they've got to keep them. This is good work by Makinson, put himself in a good position. Can Warrington's defence hold them back? It's been effective over the last 10 minutes.
Yes,
Saints are struggling. Got away with it. Jones had a second stab at that.
And Walsh with a kick right down the middle of the field and easily into the arms of Monaghan. Monaghan comes forward and Swift deals with the threat.
Can Warrington's attack complement its defence? They've worked hard, Mike. You picked it out. They've got themselves in the right part of the field. They need the brains there to kick in and some combinations come to play.
Myler finds Westwood. Westwood tries to duck under Amor. Good job that Greenwood was there. It's Clark. Clark then to Chris Hill. Back it comes from him to Myler. Now Curry.
Well, this is where Stephen Ratchford will come to the fore.
Clark will have a scamper away from dummy half.
Oh, nearly.
He's over the line.
He's got it, Steve.
Has the ball been lost?
I think he may have lost it.
I think he's got it.
Sadly, it was a good run there by Daryl Clark.
James Child doesn't think he's got it.
I think he's lost it and then puts the forearm on it afterwards. But it's tight. Boy, video refs have to work overtime tonight. That's knocked down.
Let's play on. Let's play on, isn't it? The ball's knocked out, it's gone backwards.
As part of the tackle, yeah. I mean, it's on collision, so that'll be classed as a knock-on, I think, as he loses it as he goes down forwards. It's the
tackle knocks it out.
It's the tackle on the arm that brings it out, so it's not a ball steal.
It's got to be a knock-on from Clark.
Well, I would class that as a knock-on because he's lost the ball in the tackle.
And he's not got downward pressure on it.
He's got it.
Come on, Mike.
Kyler Moore knocks it out, slaps it out of his hand, his right hand.
Well, last week
Clark regathers it and puts it down with his left.
Last week we had the same situation, and it was classified as the knockdown of the ball-carrying arm. So therefore, Stuart, should that be a knock-on?
Well, I don't think that's classed as a knock. Well, I think it could be classed as a knock-on, but I don't think it's a ball steal by St Helens. Now, if the video referees decided that ball's gone backwards, then it comes down to the grounding of the ball here.
Well,
and all he has to do is to place his arm on the ball there.
But did he lose his grip on the ball when his hand went underneath the ball and it then moved forward?
He's never had grip on the ball as far as I'm concerned, so all he needs to do is place the ball on the ground. So the ball's knocked out there and it's grounded in that situation. So it's whether they class it as a knock-on when the ball comes out. If they don't, then that ball's been grounded.
Well, it's no try on the field, it's no try in the video referee's booth as well.
They've been unlucky, these Wolves, this year, haven't they?
That's two they've had upstairs to the video referee, and two have been turned down. This is the latest. So, Steve-O 2, video refs nil.
No, they've got it right, the video ref.
Other commentators nil.
I think they've been unlucky. I think they've been unlucky.
Well, they are the laws of the game. Baz?
You're right.
Well, Barry believes, of course, that the rules are there as a guideline.
They're more guidelines than rules, but anyway, that's a penalty.
That will relieve the pressure on the Saints.
Certainly will. You can see how Kerry pulled it away. There was no way he wasn't going to be penalised on that occasion. Well, Baz, I agree with one thing, is the fact that you were persistent in breaking those laws.
Atelier is out there now, as you can see, the number 11 for the Saints, midway through this first half. Oh, Chris Hill had hold of Makinson round the chin then. He didn't like it, neither did the Saints supporters. Here's Vey again.
It's getting a bit tasty out there. Probably Warrington just a bit frustrated. Penny, no try. Clark, no try.
I know the stakes are quite high for St Helens, but does this have the feel of an end-of-season match about it? Wilkin drifts the kick in behind Monaghan, who goes to ground immediately.
You know, in the olden days, they'd have called that a voluntary tackle.
Myler into Johnson, asking a lot of the young man to get out of that.
Saints have to be careful. Don't get in front of the official.
Ashton Sims goes down, tackle number 4, still inside his own 20-metre zone. Clark pointing the way, went right, found Hill. Hill, good drive.
Well, they need Chris Sandow to kick this to the next town, really, don't they, to get other the end of the field. Not the best effort from him. I think that's what he's brought to the club. He's found the side, but I think they need more distance from the kicks.
I suppose they're happy enough that he found the touchline on this near side of the field. If it had gone another 5 metres forward, it would have been in the arms of Tommy Makinson.
Makinson did the right thing. Could see that the ball was spiralling. Would have been difficult, perhaps. Made the decision. Okay, let's go.
I think it's easy. Sorry, Steve. I think it's easy to be critical of Chris Sandow's kick, but perhaps we're not giving enough credit to Quinlan, Makinson, Swift. The back three of St Helens had every part of that backfield covered. And he's got his hands on the ball, Chris Sandow. Doesn't know where to kick it, ends up scuffing it, but luckily for the Wolves it goes off the pitch.
He's the 2008, or was the 2008 NRL Rookie of the Year, Chris Sandow. So he has the pedigree. He started his English career slowly, and he's not alone in doing that.
It takes a while, Eddie.
Of course it does. Greg Richards is out there. Played the ball there to Roby. He found Walsh. This is Turner, and it's off the chest of Atelier.
That was great. Great work by Ryan Atkins.
Free play here for Warrington with Ratchford.
We're only a quarter way into this game, but St Helens looked to be hungover from that victory of last week. You know what? It was a massive high for them to hang on the way they did. There were 7 goal line dropouts, defending their own line for so long, beating Wigan as they did at the end of the match. But they're nowhere near. The passing accuracy, the timing of the runs isn't as good as it was, or has been so far in the Super 8s in the last 3 games. And they're vulnerable here tonight.
Phil, I was reading the programme notes of John Wilkin, the captain. He mentioned 2 words: character and resilience. They're going to have to wake those aspects of the game up.
Well, the one thing that Kieran Cunningham, the Saints coach, has got to make do, and that is to get the message out to Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. He does come up with some silly errors. Got his arm underneath when they were trying to play the ball. Stephen Ratchford quickly giving away a penalty.
That's a great tackle by Savelio and Ashton Sims. Good quick play the ball though. Here goes Darrell Clark. Saints defence had their backs to him. He nearly made them pay. George King waits the dummy half for Warrington, and the ball comes out as a knock-on. A smile on the face of Darrell Clark. He can't believe the decision.
Well, last year when there was a Tiger, the Castleford hooker, quick play the ball, and here he's been deemed that he's lost it.
And he has.
Yeah. But that's what he feeds off, is a quick play the ball, Eddie.
End of his first year of his 4-year deal for Darrell Clark.
See, play the ball quickly.
This is what he did last year. And there was a few with their backs turned on him.
Well, that's what it's all about. He has that ability. That's the reason why he became man of steel, but just lost control at the vital moment. Well, the rub of the green certainly not going Warrington's way.
But they've got St Helens at the moment where they want them, deep in their own territory. Okay, only 2 tackles have gone in this set. That was Roby. Here is Turner. Puts it away again to Greg Richards. And he'll get up and play the ball quickly to Roby once again. Wilkin trying to step away from King. And he's hurt there,
He just
Wilkin.
He caught Ben Westwood's knee then as he was going down.
He didn't look well.
And he has different roles within the same game, John Wilkin. He's named at 13. There's the clash on the knee of Ben Westwood. He'll play in the halves, he'll swap with Jordan Turner. So they'll have 3 ball players, Turner, Walsh and Wilkin, and then that fullback as well, Quinlan.
Okay, he looked as though he was limping a little earlier on, and then he got that knee in the neck. Fortunately, he's okay. Oh, that ball bouncing horribly for Kevin Penny. Oof. Wilkin was hunting.
Penny just ducked underneath it wisely.
Good job he did. Ratchford. Monaghan. On his own and takes the tackle, the third one. Clark eyeing up the situation in the middle of the field, and he finds Sims, who finds Sandow. Myler, quick hands.
Oh, that's play off.
He did well there.
He didn't know it was there until it bounced on the second.
Makinson did really well. Here's big Mossy Masoi. Warrington are offside.
A great time by the coach, Kieran Cunningham, to throw on the big fella, Mossy Masoi. And no doubt about it, quite a few of them didn't. They never made any move to get back to the official, James Child.
Good work from Percival again. He's really making a nuisance of himself. And it's a scruffy pass, it goes to ground and Saints get possession.
And they're 20 metres away as Richards plays that ball to Roby. Here is Turner, back he comes to Walsh. Quinlan, Jones, Swift. Ambushed on that far side. Good defence from Warrington.
Put his foot in touch.
The tackle's complete, he's play on.
This is Walsh. Here is Wilkin. Wilkin then to Mossy Masou. And Mossy scored a barnstorming try, you may remember, at Warrington in the win in July. He's 8 metres away as he plays the ball to Roby. Here now Walsh. Walsh then to Turner. Makinson's outside in. Oh, great tackle. Great tackle, Kevin Penny.
Unbelievable. This will be a tap on the 20.
Well, he got lost, didn't he, in defence, and came back from nowhere.
What a hit. Oh, this is sensational.
he was behind Chris Sander at one point.
Frustration for Kieran Cunningham and St Helens. Jordan Turner passes that ball to Makinson. It's a try.
Well, he had the overlap, Eddie. He did the right thing going for it.
Warrington now have a penalty for offside.
Surely, Bill, that'll make the clock 5.
It was a no try.
Oh, it's Marion Terry's big
You mean
hit.
ours, don't you? We can put it on both if you want.
It doesn't matter.
It's a great tackle.
Well, it's legal anyway.
Well, it might not make it then.
Here come Warrington again. Steve-O, www.skysports.com.
Yeah, TRY. I should know it.
/extra.
There's 2 lists.
Clark finds Sandow. Sandow then to Myler. Myler to Westwood, and he put a hand in the face of Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook then.
Oh, he's lost it.
Loses the ball, but the referee says Mossy Masoi pinched it.
Will they take the 2?
No, penalty try written all over it here. The Warrington Wolves get themselves in front.
And so here they come with Ashton Sims. He's away from one. He couldn't get away from Mossy or Greg Richards. 10 metres out they are with Clark. Clark then finds King. King drops the pass off to Sandow. Myler! Myler back to Atkins. Great pass. Great defence.
Was it ever? Oh, that was sensational. Both at the other end with Penny. It looked as though he was going to get the try. Makinson underneath. Roby made sure he couldn't get rid.
Chris Hill. And Chris Hill stands but doesn't deliver the pass. Clark is waiting. Clark then gives it to Richie Myler. He goes wide and finds Ratchford. Ratchford wide to Monaghan. Monaghan in for the try. He passes 500 points in Super League for Warrington, does Joel Monaghan. 3 tries against the Dragons. That's 145 tries now. This is his 145th appearance for the Warrington Wolves, and his final appearance for the Warrington Wolves and he has given good value for money.
Well, look at this, Penny couldn't get it, Makinson underneath, Roby stopped it. But when they switch it to that right-hand side, this was beautiful play. You can see that they came out of the line. Stefan Ratchford. The face, go Monahan, the smile, the dummy, draw the man. Exquisite rugby league football.
Hey, boys.
Well, it's a lovely pass from Richie Miles. Then Adam Swift has to follow him because he's got two attackers in front of him. He has an impossible decision to make, and it's a simple try for Warrington.
He's signing off with a flourish is Joel Monahan. That's 6 tries in his last 4 matches. This one has pushed Warrington into a 2-point lead, and this kick is just the wrong side of the upright, but Warrington hold the lead courtesy of Monahan's try. People compare him with the great try scorers of the past. Brian Bevan's 740 tries in 620 appearances. That's 1.2 tries per game. Monahan has an exact level 145 from 145. He's pretty good, isn't he? They'll miss him. Tom Lynham, Kevin Penny and company have got something to follow next year.
Something to be proud of, his record, isn't it, at Warrington? And everyone needs some job satisfaction when they go to work. I'm sure Richard Myler, whatever happens in this game, will feel very pleased with the ability to deliver that pass to Stefan Ratchford. It was brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm sure that Kieran Cunningham will be disappointed with the fact that St Helens, they didn't have a man-on-man mark. Josh Jones coming out on the angle, left the overlap. Lack of understanding, they can't afford to do that. They know that that chance of finishing top of the table is still there. There's only 4 points in it.
That was a great hit by Percival on his opposite number 17, Ben Curry. This is Chris Hill, plays the ball to Darryl Clark.
Might have been a little knock on there from Hill, got away with it.
Reached the last tackle, Warrington. Sandow with the kick, looking for the sideline. He's going to find it too.
Good kick. Getting into the swing of things now, Chris Sandow. Found it very, very difficult in the early part.
Well, they've looked good because they've had some fast play the balls. Players like Darryl Clark have shooted out of there. He does like that kick. He's brilliant at 40-20s. Although sometimes as the game wears on, his concentration on some of his kicks can let him down. He's missed touch with 1 or 2 when he's tried to find them with penalties, but he's sided at the right end of the field here. Darryl Clark just stretching his groin. I'm going to be hope he's okay, because as the faster play the balls come on and the game opens up in this next 8 minutes, he could be very dangerous now for Warrington in possession.
Yes, 8 minutes to half-time, and Warrington have the lead. Don't forget the race for the £1 million match continues. Bradford will be in it, so too will Wakefield. Bradford beat Halifax this weekend. Wakefield slip up at Sheffield. The £1 million game next weekend will be at Hogsall. If the results go the other way round, or even if Wakefield win and Bradford win, the £1 million match will be at Bellevue, Wakefield. So all to play for in the qualifiers. Hull KR, Salford, Widnes, all safely back in the Super League next year. Who will join them? Will it be Wakefield maintaining their presence, or will Bradford return? Find out with us over the next 2 weeks.
This is good defence by Warrington. They're not coming out of the line. They're talking to each other. They've got a man-on-man marking system. Neat kick from Walsh.
Yes, into the corner. An invitation for Makinson to chase. Johnson is over there. Scampers across, picks it up. Percival gets the tackle in on him. Ryan Atkins to try and work this ball away. Warrington's season ends after tonight. St Helens will carry on. They're in the semi-finals. Warrington aren't. But at the moment, Warrington leading by 10 points to 6 and looking impressive here. And they've actually done better against St Helens away from home than in front of their own supporters. And they're doing exactly that now. And the kick forward is by Sandow, and Myler hacks it forward. But Adam Swift is there, and he collides with the post, and I think he's got away with that. He has. He
That's
stays
amazing.
the right side of the whitewash.
That a beautiful dummy from Chris Sandow, went down the field. Oh, great defence by Westwood. Boy, he's having a big game tonight. He's the second rower.
St Helens fans are on the back of the referee. They wanted to blow for offside against Warrington. He's having none of it. as Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook takes it forward now. Tackle number 4, Warrington hunting the mistake. Roby into centre field to Walsh. There is Turner, lays it off to Atelier. Oh, and he's dropped it.
That's play on, and Atkins has got it, Eddie.
Warrington have got the ball back.
And that's all about pressure. That's great stuff by the Wolves.
Here is Hill. And Hill trying to go inside. McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Hill will go all the way for Warrington. Super try from the big fellow. Ever present in all 34 games in 2015, Chris Hill. 33 starts. He had a debut for Lee in a 78-4 home defeat to St Helens way back in 2005. Has Chris Hill's try given Warrington hope that they're going to win here tonight? You bet it has.
And it came from a beautiful dummy and step from Sandow. Got a little kick through, and you can see they were getting close to it. Miley was there. Good job that the winger got there first. Just the punt, and then Hervé just loses it. Atkins drops on it, and this is sheer power from the from forward. I'll get it out there. Oh, that was a poor effort from McCarthy-Scarsbrook. You don't go high on a player like this. Hill is very strong. Get out of the way. Should have been stopped. Take nothing away from the encouraged run. Yep, it's a beauty. They've taken control, and the Warrington fans, they're pretty confident, and they've every right to feel that way.
Delighted with the win, with the try from Chris Hill. They'll be thrilled if they get the win. As I say, they do have a better record on this ground and at Knowsley Road and at Widnes, where they have previously played, than in front of their own supporters. Sandow here to try and add the extras, which he just fails to do. They've won only 2 of 26 at home against Saints. They've won 5 in a row away from home before losing here in March.
Well, it's Benny Westwood's support run that attracts the attention of Luke Walsh, and it gives Chris Hill a one-on-one, and he's far too dream team. I think he's had a fabulous year and deserves his slot.
Well, we'll find out on Monday when that is announced, the launch of the semi-finals. And if you want to know who is in Steve-O's dream team and what Steve-O dreams about, well, get on Twitter at Sky Sports RL, hashtag AskSkyRL. You've got about 15 minutes.
That'll be interesting.
What, to get to the bottom of your dreams?
Yep.
Tell you what, 20 points to 6 would make this interesting. You know, with a little bit of luck and the video referee on the side, it could have already been that. But Warrington, I think, the way they're enjoying this game, and Saints look flat. The missed tackle from Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, to me, summed up the flatness amongst the side. That's a play they wouldn't have missed last week, and Wolves looking to break them down the middle.
Here he goes again. Gets the ball away, and that's an important tackle by Percival on young Johnson. Warrington very much on the front foot. That's a nice dink into the centre. Roby inevitably is there. Asatazi's all over him.
It's a good job that the hooker, he read that well. They look out on their feet. Saints.
I must say the Warrington defensive line then looked a little bit ragged and a little bit in front of the referee. But he says play on. No penalty for offside coming.
They're more enthusiastic, and he knows it as Kieran Cunningham.
I think Phil's made a good point. They do look flat. That win last week against Wigan, titanic night.
Yep.
Classic game, huge effort. It's taken a lot out of them.
And maybe the tactic that Saints utilised, kicking early in the opening 10-15 minutes, maybe that was a ploy to sort of save energy. But it's in their defence where they're being caught out.
It's a nice kick from Wilkin, who is still down after the challenge by Westwood.
He's looking at the touch judges, but I don't think he's going to get any help there.
Well, I thought that was legitimate pressure from Westwood on Wilkin. He wasn't convinced of it. Stood on one leg.
It's the kicking leg that he hits, isn't it? That's the left leg. He's on the floor holding. He's not there. It is.
The ball, though, in my opinion, Barry.
I don't think Westwood could have pulled out.
No, there's nothing.
And I'm not saying that. I'm saying John Wilkin doesn't like the fact that it has hit him in the bend and the crease of his knee. And he's now saying that's twice that.
Well, he's got to calm down. He's a captain.
I don't see what Benny Westwood is expected to do. He's making a legitimate charge down at the ball.
I agree with you.
And what's more, I think Ben Westwood has hurt himself as well. Anyway, John Wilkin is not impressed.
I don't think Ben Westwood will be as well, because he knows he's come up with a bit of an injury, but boy, he wants to finish the season on a real high, doesn't he, Westwood?
Sandow gives it to Ben Curry. That's a good tackle again by Percival on him. Sandow inside the 40-metre zone, gets it right down the middle of the field though, and Quinlan just ambles after it, picks it up, takes it forward 10 metres, 11 metres, 12 metres before he goes down. Tony Smith-Lee Breers in conversation on the sideline.
We'll be happy the way that they're controlling the game, because the defence from Warrington is far superior than the opposition, and they know it as well. Saints having trouble getting over the advantage, having trouble to get over the halfway line as well, which is so important when it comes to the kick.
20 seconds remaining in this first half for Televay. He hang on to it this time, backing his way towards the Saints line, but only getting to halfway on the end of tackle number 4. Kevin Penny all over the top of him. Walsh comes down the short side. It's a free play. It's a free play. And Darrell Clark will take the tackle. And Kieran Cunningham quickly down into the dressing rooms. He knows he has some repair work to do on the St Helens machine. Greenwood's try, Walsh's goal, 6-0 after 8 minutes. But then Warrington got to the pace of things. 4 minutes later, they were level. Johnson try, Sandow with a kick. Monaghan's try and the Hill try 5 minutes before half-time gives us the half-time scoreline of St Helens 6, Warrington 14. More twists on the road to this League Leaders Shield.
Ladbrokes.